Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hairdresser Power. Now, your name's Alisha.
Alisha.
Alisha. See, I said it wrong. It's Alisha, and your last name is Jared.
Yes.
And your hashtag is Alisha Jared Hair Artistry.
Yes.
And it is all about artistry for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're primarily into doing updos and weddings, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I know you've been doing hair not that longest time, but quite a long time, a lot of experience. When you were younger, did you do hair too? Like when you were little, did you kind of have that?
Yeah, I was always the girl at, like, during prom and stuff. I had to do everyone's hair and makeup, but then I was the last one to get ready.
And then you said, this is perfect because I'll move right into this career, right?
Yes.
So you already knew kind of what you wanted to do, right?
Sort of. I kind of took a few different avenues and still ended up here. So
Yeah.
it was always meant to be.
Yeah, it's fun for you. I know you like what you do. And then you work with an assistant. I know you have an assistant part sometimes, but you like to primarily, I know you do a lot of weddings and stuff, and we're going to look at your pictures, but you primarily like to control the situation, don't you?
Kind of, yes. I feel like everything runs pretty smooth. I can make a timeline in my head and I can stick to it. I am semi-good at rolling with the punches, but I just like to kind of be in control.
That's nice, yeah. You like to make sure you get the proper outcome.
Yes.
So now, as far as your Instagram goes and what you do, tell us your theory and how you started and a little bit about like some of the good things that you've done that have really helped you in Instagram.
So the Instagram world is still kind of new to me. Honestly, this time last year, I had 1,000 followers.
Wow.
Right at. And then I actually moved here to Southern California last year around Halloween.
Where were you living before?
Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, okay,
right across the bridge from Portland, Oregon.
I know right where it is.
And so I moved down here, and going from being a stylist in the salon all day to being a stay-at-home mom again was just really hard for me. I didn't know how to manage my time, and I didn't know the cities, and I wasn't adventurous enough to go out. And so I just kind of got a couple wigs, and I started playing and styling and posting, and then things honestly just blew up.
It just blew up, huh?
Yeah.
You get that one or two posts, and then people just are like, whoa, this girl's awesome, right?
Yes. And I feel like it's all the ideas that have been floating in your head for like years, you can do on a mannequin or a wig so much easier than, you know, when you have a bride come to you, you have to do what they want.
Right,
you know?
and you have a time frame.
Yes, and you don't get to do always what you want to do, or you can't always convince them to do what you want.
Yeah.
So it was just a really good outlet to kind of get all of my ideas out there.
That's great, and it worked out well for you.
Yes.
So now, when you take your pictures, tell us a little about, like, do you use a camera, do you use a phone, what kind of lighting?
I use my iPhone.
Okay.
And for the most part, I have one of those little clip-on ring lights, and I'll bring that with me on site. But I just generally try to find a blank white or like a little bit off-white wall and use natural lighting as much as possible. If I can't get a natural light shot, most of the time I just won't post it. Because I feel like something so, especially in the bridal industry, something so clean and just simple is what does the best. You can focus completely on the hair and the details of the hair, not people in the background. You know, a lot of brides get ready in hotel rooms. You'll see messy hotel room everywhere. So I just focus on white, plain, simple, and clean.
Clean, so you look for that wherever you are. Do you ever take any background with you?
No, I mean, a lot of girls in the industry that I'm friends with take a white poster board with them. And it's something I've thought about, I just haven't done. For the most part, like I said, people get ready in bridal suites at venues and hotel rooms, so I can usually always find a clean wall.
Great, that's great. So now you mainly work per event, so you generally work on the weekends more so.
Yeah, sometimes during the week if there's like a photo shoot, or surprisingly, some brides get married midweek.
Yeah, they probably save a lot of money, right?
Yeah, so I've had a few weddings in the middle of the week, or Friday weddings are becoming super popular.
Yeah, I know that.
But I'm usually booked through the weekend.
Awesome, awesome. So now, do most people contact you through Instagram, most of your clients? Is that how they find you?
Yes, so find me on Instagram. I actually have my business email linked in my bio.
Okay.
And so I will get a lot of emails, but I also get just a ton of inquiries on Instagram.
That's great, that's great. And then do you have a specific way that you do, like, in other words, when somebody gives you an inquiry, how do you go about it? Do you get a deposit? Do you have initial consultation? How does that work?
So when somebody initially contacts me, I will write them back, and before I even send my pricing or anything, I will make sure I'm available for the day, because I don't like to get people's hopes up and then say, oh, actually I'm booked. And where I'm kind of so broad and I travel all over Southern California, I don't book 2 weddings in a day because traffic down here, I guess you just never know. So after they tell me their day and I'm open, like I get them the investment and they put down a deposit for their trial run. And then once they come to their trial run, I'll have them sign a contract and put down another deposit of 50% of their services for the wedding day.
Okay.
And I require $500 minimum for their wedding day because I have to make it worth traveling for a wedding.
Do you have a restriction on the distance that you'll travel or anything?
No. After I've done a few weddings recently that are quite a ways away, and just like I said, traffic down here is so unpredictable that I am going to either have to like up my travel fee or put a limit around it, but I just haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm still working on it.
Work in progress on that one. Great. So then on the, the initial day, the first day, your trial day, what do you do on the trial day? What does that look like?
We meet. I have them show up with clean, dry hair. We talk and we kind of talk about what their wedding, like their vibe is. Are they going for more of like a bohemian type wedding? Is it like a very classic wedding?
Right.
And we'll go through a few different looks. I always have brides show me quite a few looks. And then because there's always a way that they gravitate. They might show you something on two different ends of the spectrum, but they have more pictures that kind of teeter towards one side. And we'll decide. I've never really had a bride who we did something and they were like, no, that's completely opposite of what I wanted, because I can always kind of tell what they're gravitating towards. So we do their hair and they let me know. I tell them to keep it in for the rest of the day if possible, let me know how it wore, how it held, and we kind of make adjustments from there.
Great. Just now, obviously, they have a veil or a certain gown.
I tell them to bring
that,
all of their accessories, their veil if they can. I need to know if it's like an off-the-shoulder dress. I try to get as many details as possible just because I like to be over-prepared.
Yeah.
There's no, like a wedding day is not a day to have surprises.
No surprises is a good thing.
Yes.
So many people, they just go in blind and just go for it on that day.
And that's, I require, like when I book a bride, I require a trial run. Like I can't meet you on the most important day of your life and just wing it. Like I have to have met you, we have to have built a little bit of a relationship, and I have to know what your hair is, and it's just, I feel like it just sets me up for success, and it's gonna make their day run a lot smoother.
I love it. That's great. Well, now we have some videos and some pictures today that we're going to look at.
Yes.
So basically what we're going to do is just look at them and go through it, explain what's going on, and I'll ask you a couple of questions. And if you guys have questions out there or anything you see, just let us know. We're here live, so we'd love to hear from you. Okay, what do we have first, Stephen? What do we have back there? Oh, wow. Hello.
Okay, so this actually was something that I was on the phone with my mom, and I was just playing, and that's a wig. And I actually entered it into a contest with Behind the Chair and Sexy Hair and Lala's Updos, and I won a part of the finalists.
That's pretty nice.
And so we spent a weekend in LA, and I got to take a class with Lala, and we did like a whole tour and everything. So that is special to me, but honestly that's just 2 rope braids diagonal across the back of the head and then kind of pulled apart. I'm a more lived-in type of style girl, not so sleek. And so it looks pretty intricate, but honestly, like the foundation of it is just 2 simple braids.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
What do we have next, Stephen? Look, another loose look. Yeah.
Yes,
okay, I see what you're going with.
I do. Yeah, I like the lived-in styles a lot more. This one also got me into the Hot Tools Hall of Fame.
Look at you.
So, but this is just a braid pulled apart and then pieces kind of twisted and woven through.
Yeah.
Super simple. It looks, I just like the looks that are they are intricate looking, but they're actually simple to achieve.
Yeah, exactly. So basically on this one, she has obviously pretty long hair.
Yes.
Is there any extensions involved in this?
Yes. So this is my sister-in-law who's also my assistant.
Okay.
And so she at this time had clip-in extensions, which is my favorite to work with just because you have the freedom to move them around.
Gotcha. Kind
of place them where you want. Whereas like if you have tape or anything, you're kind of committed to where they are. So you're committed to trying to cover those up.
Yeah.
So I can do an updo with anything, but clips are ideal.
Yeah, because it gives you more versatility, right?
Yes.
That's nice. Yes. Oh, we had a question. Hey, how you doing? Okay. So we said, what kind of wigs do you prefer to practice on? And then do you use doll heads?
Yes. So I style some of my easier looks. I can put the wig on myself and style it.
Sure.
But if it's something really intricate, I definitely put the wig on a doll head and styled it. I practice on synthetic wigs, and I feel like it's made me a better stylist because on synthetic hair, you can't use heat.
Right.
Even if it says it's heat safe, it's not. It's gonna melt.
Yeah, it can melt.
And you can't use hairspray because it literally melts the fibers of the hair. You're committed to texture spray and dry texture spray. So I feel like anything I can achieve on a synthetic wig, I can 100% do on a client who I can curl it, I can use whatever product I want, you know, so it's pushed me to be able to do things without the help of product, and then just adding in product just only helps me more.
Do you ever have people that you just do a wig for them and then put it on during the wedding?
I've had people ask for it, but I think that a lot of people that ask for it, I'm like, they have like brown hair, and they'll come, I have like a little bridal suite in my house, and they'll come and they'll see like a silver wig and they're like, oh, I want that for my wedding. And I'm like, but you can't look back 20 years from now and be like, why'd I have gray hair at my wedding? You know, like you need to look like you. So I've had people like inquire about it, but I've never had anybody fully commit.
All right. So there is that option, but it's not something you necessarily recommend.
I mean, yeah, I just think you'd have to be really brave.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a big day. And it goes by fast that day, definitely. Like it's like a blur.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. What do we have next? Oh, this is pretty, a little more traditional.
Yes. So this bride actually, we had done her trial, and her hair was, the style she went for was completely different than that. And I showed up on her wedding day, and she said, how much would you hate me if we did something completely different?
Yeah,
And I was like, at that moment, I was like, I could freak out. You know, I could panic, or I could just do it.
Yes, you just took a deep breath and...
Yeah, I just said, okay, you know, it's nothing I haven't done before. I just haven't done it on your hair. And it honestly turned out 1,000 times better than what we had practiced before.
Turned out great.
Yes. So I guess got
to be flexible.
Yes, you need, it's a very flexible, because, you know, brides see something different, or maybe they went home and their mom didn't like it.
Oh, yeah.
And so you really have to be kind of quick and think on your feet. And if she would have saw me panic, she would have panicked.
Oh, yeah.
So you just have to, like, it's definitely game face.
I know exactly how weddings are because I used to be a DJ for many years and I used to do tons of weddings. And it's so funny. The wedding planner, half the time, they fall apart.
Yes.
And I had to take over.
Oh,
and I'm the DJ and I run the whole darn thing.
Yes.
So, but you got to be prepared for things going wrong, for sure.
Absolutely.
Because they always do, right? You know the old saying, whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
And on a wedding, that's when it does. We get another question here. Let's see what we have. It says, do you have hair pieces or jewelry on hand when you're there, obviously? And do the brides have to provide their own, or do you have them there for them?
So I have a lot of hair jewelry available, and if somebody comes and they say, you know, I've been thinking about wearing a hairpiece, I don't really know, I don't know what I like, or could you recommend something that would go good with this style? I will show them a few different options.
Right.
And then I'll say, like, you know, you can purchase mine, because a lot of stuff I get sent to me, and I love it, and I use it in my styles that I practice. So I will have them buy it, and then I'll just repurchase it so that I still have it.
Yes.
And other times they just say, oh, a lot of my brides go downtown LA. I don't know where they go, but there's obviously a place with hair pieces, because like she loved a hair piece at my house, and she ended up with the same one on the wedding day.
Do you have any brands that you prefer as far as hair pieces?
Hair pieces? Yeah. Pink Pewter always has pretty bridal pieces.
Pink Pewter you like? Okay.
Yes. For more boho, kind of like bohemian brides, I use Kitsch or Nika's.
Okay.
But a lot of times, it's just preference. A lot of brides still do fresh flowers in their hair.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of options. I use Juliana Astor stuff, and that's more of these like intricate bridal things. Sure. But she's Australia based, so that's where a lot of my brides go downtown LA. And get their like super intricate hair jewelry.
Got it. And then you'll just incorporate it. Oh, we have another one? Oh, people are interested in this.
Oh, good.
Figures, you know, something different. When you're going to add extensions to an updo, do you provide the hair, or do you have them get their own hair?
I have them get their own hair. 100%. It's so much easier for them to color match them. They can go color match themselves. And I recommend, you know, I'll say I like to use clip-ins. I've used so-and-so, or I've gotten them from the hair shop or wherever, and I give them a few different options. Okay. But I just say it has to be 100% Remy hair. It can't be synthetic, you know, and you need to, I have them try to show me the style they're going for, and then based off of how much hair they have, okay,
you kind of give them a length.
You definitely need this length, and maybe you need 2 complete sets of clip-ins. You know, I just did a bride a few weekends ago. We put 3 sets of clip-ins in her hair to get that look. And I always like to be straightforward, because a lot of my styles are unrealistic without that amount of hair.
Yeah. Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. You're guiding them through the situation,
Yes.
and then they get a great outcome.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. What do we have next? Oh, wow. What do you got going on here? You're doing a video. Go ahead and watch.
So this, I think, let me see what this one is. This might be the, oh, okay. So this is a picture that should be coming up. I think I put the picture in there too. But
great.
This is just a super, like, one of those bohemian type of styles, just super lived in, which is kind of my favorite for.
So you're pinning and you're basically.
Yeah, just like,
wrap
just like
it,
a
flip
topsy
it,
tail braid,
and flap
you know,
it,
and then
flip
you
it,
just
yeah.
pull it apart as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then I always leave my front sections out.
So that's just a twist with a pin.
Yes. And I use texture spray or like spray wax to just piece it out.
Yep.
And I always leave my front pieces out until last. And that's my pieces I detail with. And my curl bar is my number one.
Oh, yeah.
And I just go, nothing I do is technical. It's just very,
I like that.
I go by looks a lot.
Ooh, hello. Got a lot of likes on that one, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty one.
Probably one of my most liked styles on my page.
That was nice. And so just went for it.
Literally 10 minutes.
I know.
So simple.
You're
So that's
badass.
what I'm saying. A lot of my stuff looks so hard and so intricate, and people will be like, will you make a tutorial on this? And I'm like, literally, it's going to take you 2 minutes.
Just play with the
Like,
hair,
yes.
practice.
Yes, you need
How
to
am I
feel
going to get
comfortable.
good at this? Well, you know what you do is in your free time, if you're interested in this type of stuff, you
Yes.
practice, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I wake up sometimes, my husband leaves for work at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I will stay up and I'll style hair before I have to get my kids up for school.
Yeah. Get your inspiration.
You have to feel comfortable with hair so that it doesn't scare you. People say weddings scare them, and they used to scare me. I started out in this industry saying I would never do a bride.
Right.
And now it's all I do. So you just need to play. I mean, it's just hair.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. If you don't like it, you can take it down.
Right.
You can always change it. You're not committed to anything,
Right.
but you have to feel
But the
comfortable.
key is you got to play with it. You got to
Yes, you
have
have to feel
ideas.
comfortable. You
Yes.
have to kind of know the foundation and then bend the rules.
All right. Well, I love it. I love what you're doing. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
We have another one for you here. How long do you usually spend with a bridal party, on a bridal party? And what's the average amount of heads that you do in a wedding? Like if you have a whole bridal party.
Okay, so average time, I spend about 30 minutes on a bridesmaid.
Okay.
And then brides can take hour and 15.
Okay.
I've probably never spent more than an hour and a half on a bride, but those are like super intricate looks, like the 3 sets of extensions, hair padding, you know,
Yes.
it's very in
Yeah.
depth. On average, I can do a bridal party of about 7 by myself, which I require about that many to travel. But if I just feel like I don't, like my bridal party this last week was 7 girls and I was a little bit stressed. So if I feel like I just want to kind of take it easy and not like be so rushed, I'll bring an assistant.
Right.
So but I could do about 7 on my own. It really depends on
How
what
long
your,
what do you book out for that?
it just depends on what your bride's timeline is. So
Okay.
this last week I started at 7 a.m. and I was done by 1.
That's not bad.
So, and those were a little bit more in depth because it was a Hollywood wave set. So that just, I could do an updo a lot quicker than a complete wave set.
Right.
So
right.
it varies wedding to wedding, what the bridesmaids want, if they all have extensions. I ask all these questions. I always know what I'm getting myself into before I go.
Yeah, good advice. I think you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Oh, we have another one. Let's see what this one is. We have another question, and it was, do you have a set price for the day, or do you charge per person?
So if I'm gonna be there, I would say more than 5 hours.
Yep.
I would charge a day rate.
Okay.
But also, I would warn, like in charging a day rate, you're available to your bride all day.
Right.
You know, so you're staying until after her vows, you're touching up.
Right, because photos. Yeah.
Yes, and you're staying, if that entitles her to a second look for her reception. So if you're charging a day rate, you're there all day.
Right.
Otherwise, I just charge per style, per person, and I just get them done, and then I say,
See you later.
I touch everyone up right before I leave. I say, does anybody have anything else they want changed or adjusted? And then I leave.
Okay.
But if
So
I
you
was
recommend the day rate because, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna stay all day, like have to multiple touch-ups and stuff, for sure do a day rate because you're there. You need to get paid for the time you're there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Just like you need to get paid for the time you travel.
Mm-hmm,
I mean,
that's
you're
right.
still working, you're traveling,
Right.
so for
Yeah.
sure, charge what you're worth and charge, it's not, I think people always feel like, you're being a cop-out by charging like a travel fee and this fee and this fee.
No, it's
but
part of your time.
No, you definitely need to charge what you're doing.
Yeah, and then you feel comfortable. You know, when you're there, you don't feel like you're doing something for free. You don't feel stressed.
Absolutely.
You have a better attitude,
yes.
which gives better work, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. What do we have next, Stephen? Ooh, wow, this is pretty cool.
Okay, so this braid is the same technique through the bottom as the last video we just did, and 2 3-strand braids on the side. This was actually a collaboration at DP Hue with Justin Anderson. So this was really fun for me, and this style is just another one that I just kind of whipped up. I feel like I do my best styles when I'm not committed to, like, I can replicate a picture, but just if I just start styling and let whatever comes out come out, I just do so much better. I'm not as stressed. It's just not as stressful for me.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Just going with the flow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That turned out great. Oh, we have another question. What do we have here? Let's grab this. It says, how do you travel with all your tools? And what case, do you have a case that you recommend or something?
Yes. Yeah. So I have a few different cases. If you go, they say they're sold at Salon Centric, but they're not. The Hot Tools, it's like a tool caddy, so it's double-sided, and it has 2 pockets on the end. I put all my irons in one side, all my product in the other side, and then I keep my bobby pins and clips and elastics in, like, literally a tackle box, like literally off Amazon.
Gotcha, right, yes.
My husband kind of cut out the center pieces to fit like long pins and everything. I know that those caddies are sold at Ulta too.
Right.
So just like a heat-proof tool caddy.
Yes.
And then I can just pack it around. When I do makeup, I take obviously my big like roll makeup case. If I'm just doing hair, like I don't want all that baggage. I just take something I can carry, and that way I can keep all my stuff kind of together more.
Right, right.
So.
Well, yeah, because you're driving, so
yes.
It's not like you're on a plane, which would be a whole different set of logistics.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had to travel on a plane to get to a wedding?
No, I haven't crossed that bridge yet, but it's coming soon.
Yeah, and then you'll definitely have some kind of a travel
Yeah,
case.
absolutely.
Right on. Good advice. What do we have next? Okay. Wow. Pretty.
Okay, so this
got a little pink going.
Yeah, so this is a wig.
Yep.
Another one that is honestly, it's a pull-through braid. It's the most simple, easiest braid. I do this braid on my daughter every morning before school, but I just pulled it out a little bit extra, added some hair pieces, changed the world. Like, you can have the simplest style and you add bridal hair pieces to it and it's instantly an elegant bridal look. So if you're a hairstylist and you're doing brides, hair pieces are your friend. But yeah, it's just a pull-through braid and it's pulled out and it's just more of that lived-in vibe.
It looks great. That's
Thank
wonderful.
you.
So what do we have next, Stephen? Is that you?
That is me.
All right, what are you doing here? Something.
I want to say that these are just Marcel waves, yes.
Okay,
or
good.
just like a beach curl with a Marcel iron.
Got it.
People seem to respond really well to tutorials that they can do on themselves.
Yes, don't burn the ear. Yep.
And honestly, I graduated beauty school not knowing how to use a Marcel iron. So,
Bad.
yeah. So it's just a super simple beach wave. And I feel like it does so well on Instagram because a million people are looking for new ways to do their hair.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody, I would say half of my followers are stylists and half are just moms or, you know, girls or whatever. And so it's easy to just show people kind of how I style my hair on a daily basis.
Give it a little texture.
Yeah.
Looks good.
And that's how I wear my hair every single day.
That's pretty nice. Looks good. You just put a little product in it, you're good to go, huh?
Yes.
Let's see, we got another question. Where do you get your inspiration when you freestyling up to? And do you research on Instagram and Pinterest to find looks?
So a lot of my inspiration comes from other bridal stylists. Lala's Updos is a great one. Juliana Astor, like I said. Different braids. I feel like in the braid category, I just have a style that I can't really stray from. So I just do variations of what I like to do.
Right.
But I mean, anything can kind of inspire me. I mean, recently I drove through Starbucks. I'm like, okay, there's tons of Starbucks drinks on the menu, so I'm going to do like a whole series on different Starbucks drinks with all my different colored wigs.
Oh, wow.
You know, so you just use inspiration, but Instagram and Pinterest are the best places to just kind of get inspired. Yeah. Is when I get to do the styles I want. My brides almost always come with inspiration. I've never really had a bride show up and be like, do whatever you want.
Right.
So in that regard, you kind of follow what your bride wants, but just playing on your own, I mean, you can turn anything into inspiration.
Yeah, that's right. Like you said, Starbucks.
Yeah.
That was crazy. We have another one here. People are liking you. Let's see what we have here. They said, have you ever encountered a bride who wasn't happy on her wedding day? And if that happened, how did you deal with it?
Okay, so yes, that's been a recent kind of encounter of mine.
Yeah.
Her hair was exactly as it was at her trial, but just the tension of the wedding day.
But you take a picture at the trial too.
100%.
Yeah, just in case.
And video. Like I usually have them do a 360.
Right,
I video
gotcha.
it on my phone. I look at it the night before. You know, I know what I'm, doing.
You know, you do this.
And so I would advise you to just diffuse the situation as much as possible. I mean, you're not going to fight with a bride on her wedding day. And I 100% knew it was more about the tension and the stress of the wedding day rather than me. I just tried my hardest to diffuse the situation. I honestly had to take her up to completely down and start over. It put me an hour and a half behind.
Wow.
And
so on the second go, was she happy? Or?
Yes, and it was 100% the same exact style, but I dealt with, you just deal.
I'm never doing weddings. No.
Weddings
Sorry.
are only stressful if you make them stressful. I just feel like I just try to roll with it. I mean, you were hired for a service, and a lot of the times it's not about you, but if you react to the situation, it's going to make it worse.
It's true.
So that's actually only time I've encountered it, and now it's in my contract that if on your wedding day your hair looks the same as it did in the picture I took at the trial, you will pay me a second bridal fee to take it down and start over.
Exactly. I think that's fair. Good.
You definitely have to protect yourself.
Yes, I agree.
But in the situation, I was honestly just trying to make it out alive. I was just trying to diffuse the situation, and then I cried all the way home.
Aw, poor thing. Hey, so do you ever do proms and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, because I know I used to, when I was working behind the chair, I did a lot of proms and all. And to me, it was like, it's really weird because they just come in to your chair.
Yeah, you've never met them before.
And you've never met them, and their mom's there, and it's just like, what the?
The mom.
I used to do them, but I used to sweat when I used to have to do those.
I think, honestly, I always tell people, mother of the bride scares me more than the bride.
Yeah.
So mom standing over my shoulder while I do prom scares me, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like their mom wanted something kind of funky, that's not really cool.
Right.
And then the daughter was like, oh, and they start crying. And oh, man, I used to remember, why did you even come to me? I don't even like doing this. But, I'd do my best and get it done.
Yeah, you just got to do it
sometimes.
and then get out of there.
Yeah, so you've had the similar situation with the prom situation.
Yes.
So how do you work with proms now? Do you have a technique that kind of diffuses that?
Sort of. I mean, it's just what's trendy with girls.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Right now what's trending are
Not
honestly
necessarily moms, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, just like beach waves. And so I think a lot of moms are like, okay, giving up on the 90s updo.
Yes.
And most of the proms I've done have been beach waves and like
That's
boho
cool.
braids.
That's
so
cool.
I haven't really encountered it in a while.
But it's just so sad when the mom is like, well, I'm paying for this and I want an updo.
That's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to fight with a mom.
Yeah, and they think it's messy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, this sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll tell you to your face. Yeah.
Oh, they will.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, mom's scared me.
So kind of if mom's not there, it's even better,
Yes. The past few prom girls that I've done, mom hasn't been there. So maybe that's why it's gone so smooth.
Yeah, because I remember those days.
Yes. But I have had moms stand over my shoulder and say, I don't like how that's done. Or you need to move this. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not done yet. Like, you need to wait. You got to see the whole
Do you ever
vision.
throw an elbow? Have you ever thrown an elbow?
Get out of here.
Yeah, really. She low kicked and nobody sees the mark. Yeah. But no, I remember those days of doing a lot of proms.
Yes.
I have even had people come in to me in the chair back in the 80s and for their wedding that day, just in the chair.
Yes, I've
like
only
an hour appointment. Yeah.
I've only done one bride without a trial, and it was just it was too much on me. We didn't
It's
vibe
so
personally,
stressed out.
and I have to meet my brides.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing. Believe me, I did not like that scenario at all.
No, it's hard.
I'm with you. What do you have next, Steven? Got anything else going over there? Oh boy. See, this looks pretty complicated, but I know it's not. It's just a bunch of twists.
It's a bunch of twists on the top, and it was supposed to go to the side. It was supposed to be a side down style, and I hated how it looked, so I fishtail braided it and pinned it.
Is that a wig or what is that?
This is a wig.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's a synthetic wig. I almost didn't post this, and it was nominated for the Behind the Chair One Shot Awards. And when they nominated it, I almost fell on the floor. Like, I hated this style.
Yeah, it's so weird,
I almost deleted it so many times. I'm like, I don't like this. Like, I don't think people are going to understand it. But it's just one of those things that just, I wasn't thinking too much about it. It's just what happened. And now that I was able to listen to them explain why they chose it and stuff, it makes sense to me. But for a while, I was just like, that is the worst style I've ever done. You know, you're your own worst critic for sure.
You know what's funny is some of the stuff that you do and you think like, I worked my butt off on this. This works so good, and nobody likes it.
100% happens to me every time. I'll be like, this is the best style. It's gonna get 2,000 likes, and 50 people will like it. I'm like, what happened?
What happened?
And then I throw something together in 5 minutes, and it does so well.
I know, it's so weird. That's why you got to keep going for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just never know.
Did you? I didn't notice, but do you watermark your stuff?
I'm the worst. I've had a watermark made, and I have it. I just forget to put it on.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like these days it doesn't matter. People take them off.
I know.
So it's kind of like,
well, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, if I do it, somebody's still going to take it off.
Yeah.
But I need to get better about it because
Today
I
I
literally
saw
had
that.
one made.
It was so funny. Like today, I saw 3 people post the same hairstyle that went with the yellow. Did you guys see that? Yeah, today. And I'm like, I wonder who actually did that one. That's kind of crazy because it's 3 different people claiming it.
Yes.
And it's like within, I mean, an hour.
Yes.
I was tripping. So let's see what else you got. What recommendations do you have for a person who's a perfectionist? You know, they have to get it perfect.
Okay, so I'm
Drugs, Xanax?
Xanax, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a perfectionist. I am a control freak.
Yeah.
And you just have to let go of it a little bit. And that's why I feel I gravitate more towards the more lived-in styles.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
And
it flies nowadays.
Yes.
Now, you go back to the 70s and 80s?
No.
Oh, you know.
No.
They would kill you for that.
Yes, and it's what's in right now, so you just need to embrace it. I feel like if somebody gives me like the sleekest bun or whatever, I am such a perfectionist that I will drive myself crazy over it, so I try and steer clear of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody asks me for it, I'll
OCD.
do it. Yes, for sure, but it's just when I'm doing styles that are sleek, I feel like I am obsessing over it.
Right.
So I think that's why my style kind of gravitates towards the opposite, because I get to have fun with that. I don't have to be so precise and perfect, but trust me, I'm a perfectionist, but at some point you just have to let go of it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And the more you practice with hair, the more you're comfortable to where you don't feel like you have to obsess over it. It just comes out.
Yeah, but if you were like working on the set, doing period pieces, it would be hard on you.
Yes.
I could tell.
And that's why last week when I did the wedding with all the Hollywood waves, I get so into it, and I could spend 2 hours on one person.
Right.
And that's why I'm just like, those are the type of weddings I need to give myself an assistant, because I will spend so much time perfecting everything.
Yeah.
Not one hair out of place. And
Oh,
it's not realistic, you know?
Gotta have the shine, you gotta have the ridge lines, everything. I know. Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, let go of it where you can, but just embrace it where you have to be perfect.
That's a pretty good answer. I like that answer. Good job. What do we have next, Stephen? This is you.
This is me.
Looking all smooth and sleek. So this is basically an example of something you'd probably wear when you went out or something of that nature. Yeah.
I wore this to a rooftop dinner in LA. So just kind of more of that, wave set. Like that's something you need to like take precise sections.
That's the Magnum, right?
Wait, what's that? Oh yeah, that was.
Because you went like this, right?
That was me selfieing in my hotel room
You
all by
sucked it in.
myself.
You went.
Yeah, I got skinny.
Make this go like this, and yeah, that was good. Good trick. I like that one. Very smooth. Looking good. So you were at an award ceremony when that one?
That was at the Lala's Updo's event with Sexy Hair, and we did a lot of fun dinners at night and stuff. And so this was just, I had on a black dress, and so I figured like, let's go simple with the hair.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Turned out nice. Stephen, anything else over there? Okay, this has definitely got a lot of hair extensions in it, and tell me about it.
Yeah, so this is a wig.
Yep. Oh, it's a wig. Okay.
Yes. And
straight up.
Like, I feel like.
Is that you? Who is that?
Yes, that's me wearing it.
Okay, so your husband's just like.
That's my
and
husband.
Like,
my husband was my photographer.
And then
that
you're
day.
like, no.
Yeah. I'm like, take it again. Take it again.
Exactly right.
And then he bought me a tripod, so he doesn't have to be my
that's
photographer
nice.
anymore.
And you got a remote switch. Yeah.
Well, no, I just kind of set automatic timer, and then I
and
run,
then you go run
and I
over
like
there.
get in position really fast. I literally have to take like 400 pictures. This is, I feel like a broken record, but this is 2 fishtail braids. Like the most simple thing. They're pinned together.
For you.
It's pulled apart, but it looks so intricate.
Well, what about like if someone wants to, I know you said it's in the future, they want to learn your style, they want to learn from you, they want to get education.
Yes.
Is that something that you're thinking about doing?
Yes, so education is in the works for next year.
Okay.
Me partnered with somebody.
Okay.
So that's a secret.
Somebody cool?
Somebody
Super cool.
Somebody we've seen here before.
Oh, I think I know, but I'm not saying
So that's in the works. And then also there's some other stuff in the works that's probably coming pretty soon.
So DM, right? And to find out what's going on if they want to know?
Yeah, it's just...
Or not yet?
Hold out till January, you'll find out.
Hold out. It's coming. It's coming soon to a theater near you.
Yes.
I like it. So this one was a wig, a couple braids, some hair stuff. Bam, bing, 400 pictures later.
Simple.
Awesome.
Easy day.
Yay. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you got next, Stephen? This is kind of one of my favorites, maybe.
Really?
Well, yeah, it's kind of cool.
So this was another one of those things that it just kind of came out. I didn't plan on it. It just happened. And this is this is my #1 most requested bridesmaid style.
It's nice.
I have one bridesmaid at every wedding that wants this.
This is nice.
And this is also my most requested prom style now.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I like the tendrils coming down.
Yeah, just makes everything
created a good
softer.
balance.
Yeah,
really nice. Really nice. What do we have? Anything else, Stephen? He's over there pushing away. Oh, another video. Okay, take it over.
Okay, so I call this the hairstyle that almost broke me as a stylist. This was something that had been kind of floating in my head for a while, and I just wanted to put my own spin on a classic. So this is just a French twist, but I wanted texture in it. And I had done it on myself, and this is my sister-in-law, and I said, will you come over so I can make a video? This video was my first viral video on Instagram, and I got the worst comments on it. I cried for a week.
Really?
I mean, because it kept getting reposted, and people just make such mean comments. I wanted to delete it. My husband wouldn't let me. He's like, no, you love it, so it's fine, you know?
So what did it end up in the ratio of negative versus positive?
So obviously the positive much outweighed the negative.
Yeah.
So I just had to, and this is my advice, if you do a style and it doesn't do well on Instagram, Instagram is not the end-all be-all of the world. You know, people have different styles.
Right.
And at the end of the day, when I just last night looked at the insights on that video, and it has, I think, 2,400 saves. So I've just had to, in my mind, say that helped 2,400 people. Saved that, you know?
Yeah.
So out of the 25 super mean comments, 2,400 people got help from you posting that video.
Exactly.
So, but that one was, I didn't want to do Instagram anymore, like post anything. I mean, as an artist, you take things hard.
Yeah.
And you want people to like everything that you're going to post, but they're not going to. And so I've just had to kind of harden myself to that because I'm just such a people pleaser.
Yeah, and sometimes they're just, they have something going on in their lives and they just want to dump on you.
Yes, and that's what I say. Like a negative comment on your Instagram is more of a reflection on the person saying it than what they're talking about, you know?
Like, are you going to make that much effort just to try to put someone down? There's something going on in your life.
Yes, and a lot of times, like a lot of the comments I got anyway, we're not even hairstylists or nobody in the hair in the industry. It's just somebody being mean.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, you just got to brush it off, but it's hard.
Yeah, like I used to look through my YouTube because I had the television show and just dumb stuff. I'm like, are you even watching the video?
Yes, people are mean.
Yeah, they're just silly.
Mean for no reason.
Mostly nice, but
yes, but
occasionally, you know.
And it's crazy how the few mean comments can put you down so much further than all the nice comments.
Yeah, that's true.
So you just have to try to look past it.
Me, I don't care.
See, I need to get better.
I could just pick my nose right now if you want. I don't even care. But no, let's not go there. Anything else, Steven? Oh, look at this one. Kind of little trendy, little mohawk looking thing with kind of like an 80s throwback retro kind of fun
for sure.
thing.
So we're more, I mean, we're in the era of festivals. Festivals are so in and everybody's going to a festival. And so this is actually something coming that you guys will see soon. So I can't talk about it too much. But
so you got your crimping iron out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So my texture iron, and then I actually did the color on this as well. My sister-in-law blonded her, and then I put in some temporary color for the color pieces.
Nice.
But you never, I mean, I never say never, but people don't really ask for mohawk styles. Right. So they're my favorite to do. Anytime I get a chance to just kind of freestyle, do whatever I want, hands down, I always do a mohawk because they're so fun.
That's cool. It looks cool. I like it. Very cool. What do we have next, Steven? Is that it? Wow, that's a lot of work, though. So thanks so much. I mean, I didn't realize we were going to... This is fun, huh?
Yeah.
How did you like it? You were a little nervous?
A little nervous.
Pretty easy, right?
Yeah, super simple.
Simple. Thanks for coming. I love it.
Thank you.
And you guys, if you want to know more, you know, about your lovely work, you can just go. Where do they go? You can say it.
Instagram, Alisha Jared Hair Artistry.
Yeah. and DM you, talk to you?
Yeah, I try to
comment?
answer as many DMs as I possibly can.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like
Too much.
crazy,
Yeah.
but I will try to answer you.
Right.
Try my hardest. I have 2 little kids, so
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta balance it.
Kids
but
come first.
Yes, for sure. But I try to answer any questions. In my post, I purposefully like detail my post. So I think people
Gotcha.
think that I'm like getting paid by companies, but I'm like, no, I just want you to know what I used, so you don't have to message me.
Right.
You know,
Hey,
you
great.
you
That's good.
can recreate this look by reading my caption 90% of the time.
I love it. Fantastic. That's a good way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
You guys, thanks so much for being here. And if any of you want to watch any of these Hairdresser Power shows, they're on YouTube, on Hairdresser Power. Just subscribe. And then when you're sitting around doing nothing, you could watch you again, right?
For sure.
Like 100 times, right?
100 times.
And then say like really good stuff about her. And
Yes.
you love that.
For sure.
So thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.